Despite less than stellar polling numbers through much of his term so far, President Biden, who was already the oldest president in U.S. history, is still almost assured the 2024 Democratic nomination if he seeks it. Currently, the president has a 42% overall approval rating. 58% of Democrats and Democratic-leaning independents say they want someone other than Joe Biden for the 2024 ticket. As the oldest person to be elected president at 78 years old, Biden has almost 40 years of experience in Congress. He spent 8 years as vice president and already has 3 presidential runs under his belt. Now an octogenarian, he would be 86 years old at the end of a second term, something that voters and his colleagues say they worry about.
We have been seeing a fluctuation of poll numbers with a lot of voters saying maybe Biden shouldn't run. There's always a question of whether he may not run. A lot of Democrats have been thinking about that scenario, mostly because a lot of Democrats have been critical about his age. They really do wonder if he will be able to serve a full term. Biden has been saying that age is and should be a factor for voters when they're weighing who to vote for president.
Is your age part of your own calculation into whether to run again?
No, but it's legitimate for people to raise issues about my age. It's totally legitimate to do that. And the only thing I can say is watch me.
Despite the passage of numerous bills like the $1.2 trillion infrastructure package, the CHIPS Act, and the gun safety bill, 62% of Americans think Biden has accomplished not very much or a little to nothing during his presidency, while 36% say he's accomplished a great deal or a good amount.
We've been seeing in polling that not many people are resonating with giving him the kudos for passing a number of these very big bipartisan bills in Congress. That's something that the administration is trying to sell, and a future campaign would definitely have to hit the ground running to remind voters that Biden was able to get a number of things done.
Democrats were able to avoid a predicted red wave of Republican wins, showing that while Biden as a president may not be popular, his agenda is.
Biden appears to be the front runner simply because there aren't that many people who have declared that they're going to be running for president in the Democratic Party. Now, that doesn't mean that if others get in, we might see Biden's poll numbers continue to fluctuate in some ways, but it really is not the tradition, especially among the Democratic Party, to jump in and challenge whoever the current sitting president is if they decide to run. But there is also this idea among Democrats that this new generation may still be a little too young. They might need a little bit more political chops before they can jump in.
Candidates who have been mentioned include Governors Gretchen Whitmer from Michigan and Gavin Newsom of California, among others. Former Biden opponents Bernie Sanders and Pete Buttigieg have been rumored contenders, while Marianne Williamson has officially entered the race for 2024. But most predictably in the running is Vice President Kamala Harris, who also faces her own set of critiques from outside and within the Democratic Party.
There have been a lot of Democrats who have privately been saying that they are not confident that Harris would be able to pull off a win, especially against Trump or DeSantis, people who are really invigorating and energizing the Republican base. Doesn't seem to be necessarily the case for Harris with the Democratic base.
But Biden's camp remains confident in his 2024 chances.
Biden was actually one of the last Democratic candidates to announce that he was running for president during the 2020 election. And even then, him and his campaign were saying that he didn't have to jump in. He is a known name. People have come to understand his politics, so he could afford waiting some time. Advisors to the president say it really will be up to him as to when he will announce, but it might be April, it might be sometime this spring that he fully jumps in and starts campaigning for another term.